Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for the last 8.5 years. So today I'm going to bring you a market recap for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Let's look at the heat map. Green, 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 and more green. When semis are leading the market, I generally do not short the market when semis are leading. And look at how semis led. Look at this 6%, 4%, 2%, 4%. So we had our big names green and semis were the leaders. And that just says stay long until that changes. And it did not change. And tomorrow we have CPI. This is a big number, much bigger than PPI. The Fed puts a lot more weight on CPI, so this will be a big number tomorrow. Anticipate volatility and anticipate dollar movement, gold movement. And before I forget, we have a swing report giveaway. And so you can sign up here, and the link will be in the description below where you can sign up to receive a free month of our swing report. And this is who I am, by the way, Chart Gal Lori, if you want to give me a follow on X. All right, let's look at the charts starting with ES. So ES had a beautiful day. We are still looking for a daily lower high. Beautiful bounce. We are beyond the golden pocket, meaning we have retraced more than 65% of this move. Plenty of room for a daily higher low. Will we get that on CPI quickly, or will we EQ out? That still remains to be seen. But this is impressive by the bulls. But I do want to make a special note. Look at this declining bull volume on this push up. It's okay. Bears have to bring volume when they're pulling price down like this. Bulls don't have to bring volume when they're pushing price up. It's just something to note. I just like to make note of it and say, okay, this continues to decline. It could be an issue. NASDAQ, of course, up to 2.4% was the leader because semis were the leader in technology. We're right here at the daily 26 EMA. Plenty of room for a daily higher low on a pullback. RTY, we're green, but I wouldn't say it's a cute green. We're still stuck between the 50 and the 200 MA. I wouldn't say this is a good look. We're going sideways. We're holding our own. We're green. I guess that's the best that we can say is we're green. And we are close to a daily bull break. 2112 would break us over, and we got within $3 of that today. Dow. So the Dow got a daily higher high. We got over 39,770. Now we were unable to get over the daily 50 MA, but we did get a daily bull break on the Dow, and I just think that's notable. VIX continues its meltdown. Continues. What a meltdown. From the short squeeze over here, it just continues to go down. Now, I don't anticipate this to continue to melt down tomorrow. If CPI number is good, and by good, I mean it's down and inflation is going down, then yeah, maybe VIX will keep going down. But I would anticipate some type of hedging heading into CPI. It hasn't happened yet. Bitcoin green, nice move up today. 4 hour got a higher high. We have an hourly bull flag right now with a long lower wick of bulls buying the dip. So impressive move by the Bitcoin bulls. They had this nice squeeze, and we had the volume come in to back up the move. Ethereum closed red, but they have enough room for an hourly higher low. So we'll see what Ethereum can do here. On the 4 hour, we haven't been able to get over 2750. We don't want to get these tiny higher highs without follow through, because then we set ourselves up for potential rising wedges. The dollar is falling apart. We had this rising wedge we discussed in pregame and at market open, and that fell apart, and that's good for gold. However, gold was still unable to get through 2522.50. So it's all about 2522.50. And when I see a level like that for Mars, the first thing I do is I go set an alert. And it doesn't mean I'm going to short gold. It doesn't mean I'm going to go long gold. It just lets me know, hey, this is at a key pivotal area. And then I'll immediately go look at the other variables or correlations. What's the dollar doing? Is the dollar starting to bounce? If so, then this may be a good area to short gold. So I think alerts are I know alerts are the cheapest trading assistant out there. Oil pulled back today. We got the daily higher high. On the weekly, we are looking for a lower high. And on the hourly, we double topped right here, 80.15 and 80.16. We have API estimates after hours at 4:30 Eastern today, and we have inventory tomorrow. So we'll see if this double top holds into inventory, and does this mean our weekly lower high is set? Now, if we get more war talk, then I would anticipate more bullishness with oil, because when we have war talk, that typically lifts our commodities. But if the war talk stays down, then we could be looking for our weekly lower high. Semis were up 4%, definitely the leader. However, we are looking for a weekly lower high, and on the daily, beautiful, beautiful bounce. Now the odds are lower that we're going to go from 24769 down to $200, a $47 dip, and then zoom to a higher high. Probabilities favor a lower high. However, if Nvidia continues on this charge higher, a higher high is still possible. It's just a lower probability, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. AMD had a good day. Not as good of a day as NVDA, but it had a good day. On the daily here, we're still looking for a lower high. NVIDIA, as we discussed, was one of the few names yesterday that got a higher high, and we got a higher high today. So here, 10660. So we didn't gap up here. We did gap up here. So I was looking to see if tomorrow, if we gapped up again, would that be the third day? But it is not. So because if it's the third day of a gap up, straight into resistance, straight into the daily 50 MA, it may be a short, but this isn't if we were to gap up, it wouldn't be the third one. Apple had a great bounce, up 1.72%. Nice and easy. 22534, that is your next resistance. Plenty of room for a higher low on a pullback. When you look at Apple was just steady as she goes today. We had this big move up, and we just held up near the high all day. Amazon had a weaker morning, and then once it was able to get through yesterday's high, it saw a burst of energy and closed up near the high of day. On the daily, we're still at the 12 EMA and the 200 MA. I will still be watching this one for a short. Google, we're looking for a daily lower high. This was one of our earnings, I don't want to say a disaster, but one of our earnings dogs. Is that fair to say? Last week. So if we're looking short, I would definitely say Google and Amazon would be two of the names that we could look for short, or they could be laggard bull moves tomorrow. We shall see. Tesla had a great day. We had this tightening range this morning, and I talked with our live streamers, and I said, you know what? This has a beautiful squeeze here on the 4 hour. Watch out for Tesla. If we could get through 20256, this could be a great long, and it ended up being a great long. Now, bulls still have a lot of work to do. They filled this gap at 20578. Is that right? Yeah, they filled that gap, but they do have the daily 50 MA overhead. XLF, we closed the daily inside bar. We have a double top at 42.59, 42.56. We could be watching that tomorrow for a potential top fish. Here I go again. I'm going to set my alert. I'm going to put it right in between those two numbers. Uber had an uber bullish day. We had a daily bull flag that broke bull over the daily 50 MA. I think you could keep this one on watch for a back burner. It has just been bullish. after earnings, it has just been pushing. And just a special note, Kamala Harris's husband's brother used to be on the board for Uber, and now he's a special advisor for Uber. So I don't know if there's I don't know what the correlation there. I'm not making any inferences. I'm not political, just something to note. Crowd got a bounce going today. We are still not over the 12 EMA. I know everybody is waiting for this thing to get over that 12 EMA. It had a nice bounce today, and we are making room for higher lows. Starbucks was our darling today. I traded it this morning on live stream. So this was in general chat in the thread where I go over chart request. I had an entry at 92.15, took off a little here, took off a little there, put a stop at 91.60, and my final exit at the end of the day was 94.31. I was protecting against end of day CPI profit taking that did not happen, but that's okay. I'll take $2 any day. All right, and then finally Nike. Nike was a heartbreaker. So over here we had resistance of 79.05 and we hit 79.05. Once you get into this gap fill territory, you don't have any resistance. So bulls want to push up into that gap fill territory, and they got smacked down right at that 79.05. So I'll be watching Nike tomorrow and see if bulls can push up into that area. And that's it. Let's use stop losses.